Are you sure
This
though?
thing live? Hello?
Yo.
Y'all in the chat? Anybody in the chat? Let me know if y'all in the chat.
Hello?
Mm.
Anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joking.
Nobody hear you. Man. No, I'm joking. Only hear you,
Man.
dog.
Whoa, chicken. Wait a minute. Oh, don't say it like that, bro. You got me shook over here. Sound like you're trying to whisper sweet nothings into my ear, dog. What the fuck?
Yeah, he getting his Barry White on. This shit crazy.
Oh, he was very Manilow. He's all like, and you'll never fall.
Is there a way to view the live chat through Google Hangouts?
Hold on. I'll just send you the link to the what you calling it? And change.
Yeah, I don't think Google has a way to make it that easy for you.
Yeah, you gotta go to the actual channel and just have 2 tabs open. That's how I used to do it.
Oh,
But anywho, welcome to Usual Suspects Podcast, episode 6. We got as many episodes as Star Wars had before they took a break. It's wild. But today, Visions of Hardhead won't be joining us. They'll be back next week or whenever they want to come back. They're taking a little bit of break. But anywho, that doesn't really matter right now. We got to focus on what's here and what's now. We got Common. And One Night shall be joining us, if y'all know who they are. These blessed brothers, our black brethren. But for now, just so we understood, a little bit of house cleaning. The podcast will be on this channel, the Usual Suspects podcast channel, from here on out. I will re-upload the first 4 episodes when the strike is off the other channel and YouTube stop being some fuckboys. But yeah, anywho, intros, people, intros. I don't even care who go first. Intros.
Hey guys, it's me, Stratosphere. Good podcast.
All right, this Professor. You already know what it is. Let's get it popping.
this is a comment. Let's get to these topics.
It's your boy Jigga. I'm just here doing what it do. Speaking on these topics. Facts.
I'm your host, Sentry, also known as a Sentry Gun from Portal and other things. So yeah, let's get to the first topic. And the first topic is something that I didn't think would happen, but we got to discuss it. They're the Lawbreakers developers. I forget their name. Anybody remember the name of the Lawbreakers?
Bosky.
Basquiat or Bosky. They did a new battle royale game called Radical Heights. I played it last night, and I'm gonna give my opinion at the end. But somebody talk about this. I don't know what to say.
Can't say much. I haven't played it.
I haven't played it either, but I did buy Lawbreakers.
Oh man.
Yeah, pretty much the biggest waste of $30 I've ever had on a game.
You put more than 2 hours into it?
Yeah, I put about 90 hours into it.
Oh my god!
90 hours.
Wait,
Wait, wind back, comment. Did you just say 90 hours?
yeah, I like 97 hours to be exact.
Jesus Christ!
You like that game?
Yeah, I did like it for like a while before they made all the updates, but
Common, my guy.
I got respect for Common. Common the only dude I know who put time into that game like that.
I'm surprised.
You a real one, Common. You a fucking.
I like the style of the game and the whole arena shooter and the movement and stuff like that. But the game just died off and just what do you call it? Bosky. They kind of disappeared off Twitter. They didn't really tweet it for a while, or in Lawbreakers this didn't really pick up at all after like the first month or so. And it just died off, and I'm sitting here. I just wasted $30, and there's no refund or like they can't. I don't think they can do They could have done a refund like Epic did with Paragon because they're just a smaller studio and they have Nexon over their heads the whole time. So I guess I can understand, but I still feeling a little salty. And here they come with this battle royale game trying to compete with Fortnite, and I'm just like, whatever.
Damn.
I played it last night. I didn't want that shit on my account on Steam, so I played it on my cousin's laptop. That shit has potential, but right now it's kind of bare bones and it looks really bland. It looks like they saw not Overwatch. I almost said Overwatch. It looks like they saw Fortnite and they said let's do all of that, but more blandy, like make it bland. But this is the synopsis. They said this is a 5-month passion project for the studio as we're creating and publishing the game entirely by ourselves. We're huge fans of battle royale games along with a bright, inviting reverence of the 80s aesthetic. Because of that, we want to put our own spin on the genre and create a futuristic 80s world that takes place in 2023 during a over-the-top game show where the contestants battle out for fame and prizes.
So
Now-
basically, that other game that's a battle royale with 10 players, got its name.
No, let's be real. Let's just what they said. Oh, we saw that battle royale stuff. It was blowing up. We see them making money. We want some of that too. That's what really happened.
Sounds like a rush product.
It looks like a Rush product.
The thing is, though,
Wait.
Oh man,
Message encrypted.
Yeah, gotten a little bit.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah. Damn it. Nah, but let's just be honest. What was popping on Twitch for a little bit the other day, I noticed.
I
anyone
mean, you have one of those big ass streamers play.
Yeah,
Of course,
yeah,
of
you got
course it's
your-
gonna be popping.
You got
You know
your
what I mean?
Shroud, you got your what you call
Ninja.
it, Disrespect. They're streaming it. They're
Ninja
gonna-
was like number one on it the other day. Like you can't
Yeah.
really.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't understand how Dr. Disrespect could get so good at that game so fast. I watched like 15 minutes of his fucking stream. He was over there doing Perrier flips and shit, killing people. I was like, goddamn.
Shit's just crazy, man.
No, but do y'all see a future for it? Do you think it has potential?
Nah.
Anybody? No, from Strat?
Nah,
Chicken?
man. Man, unless the only reason like Fortnite got as big as it got is because it went on console.
Mhm.
That's the only reason. If Fortnite was not on console, you wouldn't see it as big as it is. And this new game, Radical Heights, ain't gonna be big if it's not on consoles either.
Okay, since you want to talk about that on console right quick, let's extrapolate on that. Do you think PUBG not being on PlayStation 4 is handicapping it?
Not really.
I believe it is. I mean, because that's a big player
I
base
mean-
that they can have.
Like
yeah.
because the console version is not as refined as the PC version. Like Fortnite is on the consoles.
But I still be on my Xbox seeing mad people play that, dog.
Really,
They
man?
don't care. They will play that as long as it's a game they can play that they can tote above something else. They play it.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be PUBG could be bigger, but I mean, I think it's fine where it is. But there's other competition coming, especially this Mavericks game. Coming soon. Like,
Yeah, let's see how that turns
Yeah.
out.
So
Oh, Mavericks Proving Ground with like, I think, what was the number? They said 1,000 or something like that?
400 players.
Jesus Christ, 400 people you would have to try to clap? God.
So yeah, like as far as battle royale goes, I mean, it just sounds like Bosky's trying to get into that market since it's popular. You know, since they're publishing their own game, I guess they had to find some way to like get some money like fast since Nexon's not publishing this game.
Oh, yeah, before I forget, Strat, you said this to me the other night about the original, I almost said mobile. What Battle Royale game? What's the name of that game? DayZ, something like that?
DayZ, yeah.
yo,
What was going on with DayZ? You good?
Am I good now? Am I good?
Yeah.
Yeah, DayZ got a new engine. Hopefully revamp the game
No, but-
again, you know.
But Professor, you were about to say something before the Autobots took over your store?
Yeah. What I was gonna say, I was just gonna say, how are they gonna make money? That's my biggest concern. How are they gonna make money?
They have microtransactions in the game, and it's in early access.
Yeah, but now what I'm saying is, with two juggernauts already in the same genre, I don't think people was gonna gravitate towards that though. That's what I'm saying.
I would have said that about Smite, but Smite makes money, and you got Dota and League, which are arguably either 1A or either
you
one is 1A or 2A.
Well, now think about it though. Smite was the first console, so it had nothing to compete against on the console market.
That is true.
So that's the difference.
Yeah, that's true, dog.
True.
But no, that's all I wanted to say because it's really not relevant to be honest. That game ain't gonna it ain't gonna take off.
Damn. So So I got a question. If that shit take off, what y'all gonna say?
I'm gonna be salty because I played that and that shit garbage.
I just don't see it taking off.
I don't see it taking off.
I mean, I don't really care either way. I still wasted $30.
I mean, I'm happy with PUBG, man. Still, so I'm good.
All right. Since we talking about that, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I played that game. I got 5 kills, and then somebody clapped me from like the top of the map, and I understand how I died. Fuck that shit. I'd rather play Fortnite or PUBG, even though I don't really like PUBG like that. Let's move on to a more interesting topic, in my opinion. Sony somebody found some job listings for Sony making a new studio or building a new team rather in San Diego. So this is the details that we got. the job listings indicate that Sony Interactive Entertainment is building a new team in San Diego to make a game in collaboration with the Visual Arts I think they mean Service Group, which is Sony's motion capture and animation group housed in the same place as Sony San Diego, and a major Sony studio. And they're looking for, in the way they worded it, they want to do a third-person action-adventure game. So some people are thinking that's Uncharted. It could be any number of things like Siphon Filter. I don't know why people thought it was automatically Uncharted. I'm gonna be honest. There's a bunch of third-person games Sony has made over the years that I would want sequels to before Uncharted. But how y'all feel about this?
And if they're smart, they'll just give them give them free roam to make a new IP. You know, if they're getting like the veterans from other companies, you know what I mean?
No, I think they should have them work on a different game first, like one of their old IP, to see if they got the ability to make something new first. Like,
See what you're saying, but if they got like the people that are like experienced, I don't see why they couldn't just make a new IP. You know?
I mean, my logic. I'll go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Is it a new studio, or are they opening a new studio and putting people from other places there? Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking.
Or are they hiring new people?
Basically, I don't think it's gonna be on. I don't think it's all gonna be new people.
Oh, if it's people
no. Let me read this. I'm gonna read this sentence, and y'all can decide what y'all believe off of this. Sony PlayStation is building a new game development team in partnership with the Visual Arts Service Group.
Who are they? Who are they though?
They are the team that usually does motion capture, animation, cinematics. Like, think about how Naughty Dog houses the ICE team. That studio houses that team, which is the usual like team that does like, they build up the services that all the Sony's teams uses for like how they do motion capture, animation, cinematics, scanning, art, all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll go ahead now.
No, I think that they're going to, make a new IP. I just think they're gonna make a new IP. I mean, that's what logic tells me, that they're gonna make a new IP. Since Sony said they're gonna double down on first party, that's what makes sense to me.
I mean, that's what I would like to see, but like, cause I'm not a big Uncharted fan anyway, but I would like to see a new IP.
But wait a minute. You ain't gonna skate by like you can just say it did.
Wow.
What's wrong with Uncharted?
It's just mostly the gameplay. The gameplay doesn't really. It's not really. Doesn't feel like anything special to me. The story. I like the story. Like I played 1. I beat 1. I beat 4, and I was like halfway or like over halfway through 2 before I kind of stopped playing. But I'm not a huge Uncharted fan, but I would like to see something different and like not just another sequel.
I agree.
Unless they completely reboot it and like God of War, like they did God of War.
I mean, technically, Uncharted is just a cover shooter. Technically.
Okay, so if we're gonna talk about this, what would y'all want them? What would be the first old IP, new IP? What would you want them to do? Because I feel like Siphon Filter is begging for a remaster.
I mean, shit. I've been wanting a Siphon Filter reboot for a long ass time. For at least 15 years.
Wasn't Omega Strain the last one that came out, if I recall correctly, or am I bullshitting?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I can't say because I don't really know. I mean, I would rather have a new IP than something redone or remade or something. Because Sony has proven that if you give them a new IP, they're going to make something good. So I'd rather.
I mean, The Order, the proof of that. Horizon's proof of that.
Yeah. Horizon more so than The Order.
I mean, The Order was good.
The Order was a good game. It was just
no. I'm just saying, based off of the success of the IP. Like, let's be honest. I like The Order. You may like The Order, but The Order did not sell well.
Yeah.
But we said they create good games, and it was a good game. So whether it sell well or not, that doesn't matter.
You are right on that. Yeah. And I am actually incorrect on the last game that came out for Siphon Filter. It was Siphon Filter and Logan Shadow, which was on the PSP.
Oh, that's why I didn't play that. I didn't play that bullshit. I ain't play it. That's why.
Yeah, it's an 84 on Metacritic.
What? Okay.
Yeah, that's wild.
Which game?
Self and Filter, Logan Shadow. Also, the game before it has an 87 on Metacritic.
Was that a PSP game too?
Yep.
What?
Oh man, you missed out, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, if you want to know something, well, actually, this is the thing. The Metacritic for let me take that. It's not an 84. I read the game rankings. It's an 85 on Metacritic. Siphon Filter and Dark Mirror is an 87. Then the first game is a 90 on Metacritic, which I never knew.
Hold up, man. You know what's fucked up about that whole little triple PSP shit? Why they didn't release a Siphon Filter for the Vita? If that's the
Ben,
case.
well, remember Ben Studio was doing Uncharted Gold and Abyss, so
I mean, they could have resourced it to another studio.
you know Sony was going through financial straits during that time period. So
Whoa, static.
Static.
Hey, is that me?
Bro.
Hold on.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, that was Century with the static.
Oh man.
It was static?
Yeah, it was you with the static. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I fixed it.
All right.
Anywho, Static X like a motherfucker. Let's move on to some shit that I found very disturbing. So y'all know about the Overwatch League, correct?
Yeah.
Well, there was a player in the league formerly who used to be of the Boston Uprising. Let me find the direct article. Dream Casper, he was accused of inappropriate sexual interaction with an underage Overwatch League fan.
Hey man.
Some of these dudes are straight up weirdos, man.
So
Yeah.
let me give you the backstory on this.
That right there is just taking advantage, man.
Dream Casper is 21 years old, and he approached this fan, this young lady,
Oh, he approached. That's even worse.
Yeah.
and he engaged with her in inappropriate and oftentimes salaciously through Twitter DMs, FaceTime videos, and Snapchat.
God damn.
So yeah,
Man, ever since Bill Cosby and Weinstein, people just been going crazy, man.
Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
No, I think it's the Minecraft for craze, dog. That's
The,
where they started that pedo shit, dog.
the what craze?
The Minecraft, like all the Minecraft YouTubers, like start messing with them little kids and shit, dog.
I didn't know.
Just-
I
no,
didn't
just
hear
so you
that.
know, just-
I didn't know. I didn't know about that shit.
Hold on,
No,
hold on.
that's it was known on like YouTube. Like a whole bunch of them YouTube Minecraft dudes is like getting caught messing with little girls, dog, or little boys.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that's
You saying white? You saying the Minecraft dudes was pulling up in white vans?
Oh,
No.
You tripping.
oh
I
man.
can't mess with that.
That's why it's like you got to be careful when you like your kids are. If it's something that like kids are known, you got to be careful because them dudes is weirdos, dog.
No, also just so y'all understand how young this young lady was. She was 14 years old.
What?
Wow.
Now, so y'all understand. This is the thing. The Overwatch League, as far as esports goes, is probably, in my opinion, the most successful league other than like the League of Legends LCS.
Or Counter Strike.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about Counter Strike. Counter Strike has an issue because of counter terrorists and terrorists. How do you market that on TV?
But they're still successful.
They're successful, but that's a challenge that they've been facing. But this like shit like that makes it hard for sponsors to like actually want to invest because they can say you had a pedophile as a player. Like shit like that is wild. And I'm glad they took care of it. But some people are saying he got railroaded. It's like, bruh, I don't give a fuck. You got to get the fuck out of Dodge. You got to go, dog.
But see, it really doesn't even matter though, because when sponsors look at that shit, they may pull out even though the situation has been handled. They still may be apprehensive about the whole situation. So you think they'll be hurt in the end by this still, even though the situation's handled?
I believe they might, man.
I mean, it makes the sponsors question. I'll say that. It makes the sponsors question what's going on there. It really does. If I was a sponsor, I'd be asking a lot of fucking questions like, what the fuck is going on? How did this happen? Like, I'd be asking a lot of fucking questions because there's no way in hell I put my name on something like that.
What they need to do is make sure like all these dudes who are like having fan interactions are like monitored and shit.
Yeah. Security, something.
Yeah.
Top flight security to work, Craig? I ain't trying to make light of the situation, but
Yeah. Because they got the money to spend to hire security. They got the money to spend.
You
But
got to, man.
But my thing is, a fan, like, this is the thing about being a fan. Some fans are like, if you think somebody look good, you gonna go out your way to do some wild shit. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm more afraid because Overwatch is a game with a fan base of people of all ages and
Yeah.
experiences in life, and the fact that this has happened already is kind of scary to me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's offsetting and scary because, like, you got to think about it. If this is the first time, how do we know it's like other people in the cut on other teams not fucking with little kids? Like, it brings into question.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shit just under wraps, low key,
Yeah,
happening
so-
the whole time. Yeah.
So you got to ask those questions. But yeah, I want to leave that there. I just wanted to bring it up because I felt like it needed to be addressed. Somebody needs to talk about it. And I like the Overwatch League. I think it's a great thing that I feel like more people of color needs to be in part of, but they need to fix issues like that first and foremost. But we're going to move on to a topic I know Professor is ready to discuss because he just loves Microsoft. Somebody asked me and gave me this topic. Shout out to the homie Medications,
Lord.
Warframe. He asked us to answer this question, and I need y'all to give me a plan of attack. Give me details what you would do over the course of the next 15 years. Say you had Phil Spencer's positions as the head of Xbox. How would you fix the first party issue? And I don't care who goes first. Just give me your plan of attack. 15 years. Go.
Yeah, can I go first? Can I go first?
Go ahead,
Go
man.
ahead, man.
Sprout every first party studio you got in your possession right now. Scrap every last one of them untalented motherfuckers. Because look, it's clear, it's very clear, okay, that they do not have the talent to make something that's worth fucking playing. Okay, I give Coalition credit for Gears. I ain't gonna shit on them completely. But outside of that, 343, get the fuck up out of here. Turn 10, I'm tired of you making fucking races. Get the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And do something better, because the shit is stale. It's, man, listen, at this point, if Microsoft go down this road, they're gonna be fossilized. Okay, done. They're gonna be in a museum. Oh, do y'all remember when Microsoft was at the top of their game at one point, and then Sony just came along and Nintendo and just completely shitted on them? Wow, because that's basically what's been going on, and Phil is just sitting there thinking everything is cool, and it's not. I
would just like to point something out. Microsoft has only 7 first-party teams. That is the Coalition in Canada. In Europe, they have Lift London, Mojang, which makes Minecraft. So I don't even want to wait.
Mojang count. They don't count.
Yeah, they don't count.
You have the Pirate Studio Rare.
Hold on, and Rare, they need to sell that shit off.
Who made Recore?
Who did
Recore was second party, I think.
Yeah, I think that was the second part.
Yeah, Rare didn't be sold off.
It was Armature Studios that did Recore, which they helped.
I mean, hold on. Do y'all agree? I mean, do y'all agree at least somewhat what I'm saying? Like Phil needs to just redo everything, man, because like what in the past 3-4 years, what success have they had?
I would agree with that only with Rare. Like I think Rare need to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything.
I don't
Like,
think they
the
got
other
any
ones,
talented
the
people
other
left.
ones are like putting out quality stuff. Like it can't.
Look, man, there's only so many racing games Turn 10 can make.
I mean, I understand what you're saying about that, but look, the thing is like this. First of all, is like, are they making a bad game? They're not, and they're only being told what to do.
I'm not
they
saying,
can't. I mean, like, I don't think they have that option to do something else. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not saying they're bad games, but I feel like their growth is stagnant because of the lack of creativity at Microsoft. That's the problem. I've been saying this for a long time. I've been saying.
You're saying get rid of them, but if you're basically saying it's Microsoft's fault, then Microsoft need to make some changes to who they get all these companies.
What Microsoft needs to do is like give companies liberty to make what they want. That's where creativity comes from.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think the studios are bad, but just give them the creativity they want, you know. Exception for Rare. I don't know what they see if these going on, bro.
You know what? I just thought about it. Now, this may be a little bit out of pocket, a little off key, but I feel like Microsoft, in a way, is stuck in their ways like Nintendo. In a way, because I think Microsoft, in their mind, they still think it's the dude bro shooter era. like it was when they first started. And
That's that's the only reason Microsoft ever got as high as they were because of Call of Duty and stuff like that, and the big hype of Halo back years ago.
But let's talk about that right quick. Let's talk about that. The reason Microsoft had a corner on that is because, and this is something I've said, and professors heard me say this. I think you've heard me say this, Strat. Jacob's heard me say this. I think all of you heard me say this. Back during that time period, what the hell did they do well? Multiplayer shooters, right?
Yeah,
What does everybody do well now?
Single player, I don't know.
Multiplayer shooters.
Does everybody really do most? I don't think everybody does do well.
There's a lot of dudes out there.
There's a lot of crap out there, man.
Here's my thing. It can be a lot of crap out there, but the fact that the entire market is doing it doesn't make it special.
No, Century, you're a little off, in my opinion. Because if you really think about it, I think what the industry is booming now with what the genre's populated now is open world games. That's like every game now is open world or semi-open world. Every major.
But here's the thing. That's a recent development. I'm talking about back during the 360. That's not what I'm not talking about.
I mean, all things you're talking about currently.
No, not currently. I'm talking about if we think back to the 360. What was the 360 known for? Multiplayer online shooters. The entire market does that well now. Battlefield, Battlefront, fucking Titanfall, Call of Duty. Everybody does it now.
But see, the thing is, though, Battlefield, Call of Duty, they existed.
Yeah, they existed, but they were one of the few games in town. Now that everybody does it, you're not the only game in town.
Yeah. Matter of fact, it can be not even argue. It's a fact that Call of Duty dominated anything that Microsoft produced first party wise. So I can't even really necessarily say that. I really can't.
But like, you got 15 years in this plan. Like, I need to hear, what is your plan from the year you start?
I mean, it's kind of hard because in order for me to like do what I said, scrap everything, I would want to know what budget I have.
They give you unlimited reign. They say, here the war chest, you go play with it.
Okay. First of all, get a relationship with one of these Japanese devs. Okay, build a relationship with one of those, because a Japanese studio, that is where your diversity is going to come from. Because why you think Sony is so dominant? Because Europe, being Sony's biggest market, they have a relationship with Japan. That's how it all started. You know what I'm saying? That's
still a persona, dog.
That's what Microsoft needs to do. You know what I'm saying? Them canceling Scalebound was the worst mistake they could have made, in my opinion. That is the worst mistake, because they could have brought in that diversity that Microsoft sorely needs, and they fucked it up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so get a relationship with Japan, and once you get that started, I don't know, maybe develop a popular RPG, because RPGs are pretty much popular now, opposed to what they were 7th gen and before. You know, because in 7th gen, 6th gen, it was a cliche. You know, not a cliche, wrong word. It was a niche type of thing. Now it's not, as you see with Persona 5 success.
That's the thing. People are looking for diversity, man.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like I said, that Japanese studio, that's the first step. Now everything off of that is going to be based off the success of that, and then you just go from there. Because it's kind of hard to say, hey man, let me map out my 15, project.
Okay.
And the thing is, like, Sony has had a lot of these studios for like over 20 years.
Well, not all of them.
A lot of some big names.
A couple of them, like Naughty Dog. I would say, but see, Sony doesn't own Insomniac. They don't own Insomniac, though. They
have a really good relationship with Insomniac.
I mean, the only one I can think of is Naughty Dog and Guerrilla Games. The only two I can really think of off the top of my head, as far as having like.
What about Sucker Punch?
That's not a 20-year relationship.
Yeah.
I thought they got bought. Like, what year did they get bought?
I mean, let's not say 20. Let's say like over 10-year relationship.
Okay, all right. Well,
a lot of these studios are have a good amount of experience with them.
All right.
That brings out creativity, because you've been seeing like what these companies have been doing. That hasn't been really the same thing this generation, at least.
I'm interested in, I mean, because I know y'all hear me kind of ran it off a little bit. My bad. I kind of ran it on, but I really want to hear what y'all would do.
Oh, here's my thing. The thing I worry about the most is like, are these Xbox owners, these gamers, going to really accept this kind of stuff? Are they really going to support these kind of games? You look at Sunset Overdrive. I mean, it's not a completely first party since it was Insomniac who developed it, but that game got pretty good reviews on Metacritic, and from what I've kind of gauged, it's just people didn't really support it like that.
Yeah.
Well, you said Sunset?
Yeah, Sunset Overdrive.
That game was garbage.
That was a great game.
That game
No,
was
that
good.
game was garbage.
I know I say this a lot, but that was a great game. I enjoyed my time with it.
That game was boring. I
Hold
played that
on.
shit like 10 hours. Like, this is trash.
Century, you shouldn't even make this stuff. You know how passionate I am about Microsoft. You should not make this topic. I got something.
Uh-oh.
What?
Say it at the
Let
conference.
me continue. Something. I think Strat mentioned it, like letting their studios be more creative and kind of letting off the leash a little bit. Like look what happened to Bungie. I think they wanted to do something other than Halo, and then when Microsoft said no, they just wanted them to keep making Halo. They went off and made Destiny, and made it multi-plat. So Microsoft could have had Destiny exclusive.
Yeah.
They pissed that away.
Facts.
Well, Bungie was already free during 07, but Microsoft was shook and said, y'all got to do 2 or more games.
And I just want to respond to Common's comment when he said it didn't sell well. See, that's the difference between Microsoft and Sony. Sony doesn't go by numbers to dictate if they're going to make a game or not. They go by the fan demand and what the fans want. They don't really look. Because look, majority, let's be honest here. Well, I ain't going to say recently, but in the past, a lot of their first parties really didn't sell that well, but they continued to make the games because they knew that's what the fans wanted. So Microsoft needs to stop looking at the bottom line and continue to build something, because that's the problem. That's why they only have like 3 franchises to this day, because they don't build anything. They go by the numbers. You cannot look at the bottom line all the time and let that dictate whether you want to make something or not. You can't do that.
Continue, Common.
What else? That's about all I had to say, since I don't have a big history with Microsoft. Like, I think my first only Microsoft console was the 360. So, like,
yeah, I had the original Xbox. Maybe that's why I feel this way. I had the original Xbox.
Okay.
Well, this is why I say they should do put on their ski mask, pull a jack move, dog, run through Sony and start fucking paying people like, hey man, come work for us, dog. Hey man,
hold on, you think they should go after Amy Hennig, which we don't know where that woman is at? God bless her soul.
Yeah, man. People who know how to make games, like good games.
She's a writer. She's not a developer.
Yeah, I mean they need somebody
writers, though. They need writers.
That's where it all comes from. Like somebody with a good story, then you get a developer that wants to make that.
Yeah, but you need a premise that's worth it first for her to even consider writing for it. It has to be a good premise.
Okay, then, like I said, go find somebody at Sony and steal them, dog. Give them that bag.
Sony ain't fucking with them, man. They ain't fucking with them.
Like hey, they ain't gotta fuck with me. I'm just gonna steal your people, dog.
You think they should go start offering people that new contract?
Hey, man, that's what I'm saying, dog.
See, that's what I'm saying, Jigga. That's what I said earlier, though. If Microsoft would have tried to build a relationship with Japan, dog, this wouldn't even be an issue. This wouldn't even be. I mean, I don't know, man. That's just my opinion. I ain't saying.
Even though the 360, they had some good JRPGs. They just fucked it over.
Yeah, man. Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey. Yeah.
The sad thing is, it's like one of the few 2 you can name.
But they were great games, though. That's the thing.
I'm not arguing that. They were
Magna Carta. Oh, man.
I played the fuck out of some goddamn Blue Dragon, man. You don't even know.
Man, Stratosphere, you got an opinion on this?
I think I've added on to everybody else's opinion enough to
my bad.
Not but like to give up my opinion. You know what I mean? I've added to theirs. I agree with everybody's been saying.
So let me go ahead and get mine. If they gave me the war chest, said play with it, and gave me 15 years, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna try to. This is the first thing. Rare has one option with me. They either have to split into. They're either gone, or they have to come. They have to give me an idea about doing something with one of their old IPs. Either you're doing something with that or you're gone. Like I have no what's the word? I have no kind of nostalgia for you anymore. You haven't done shit in years worth. No
patience.
patience would include that I have patience off the rip. I don't. So
Oh man.
I would just either they're getting axed or they got to do something else. 343, you're doing Halo still, but you better like this is my thing. Every team in Microsoft, you're getting a second team. That second team is going to start working on a new total IP. And also every studio's name is getting changed for being something associated with the IP you're working on. You can't be 343 no more. You got to be Microsoft Studio Seattle or something. You got to be something. You got to be Microsoft Studio.
I mean, that could be
Canada.
their second studio can be named that.
No, but I don't want to make separate studios because if you make separate studios, that means you got to build stuff up from scratch. I take the talent within that who have ideas because it's not that the talent doesn't have ideas. It's just that their ideas are not being listened to and therefore they can't extrapolate or create anything that is worthy of their talent.
Yeah, their innovation is being stymied by Microsoft.
Yeah.
So you create a second team. You tell that second team, you come with me with 3 fully fleshed out ideas. Out of the 3, we'll pick 1 or 2 that you like. You'll get closer on that, and then we pick 1. Out of the 2 that are left, you pick the one that's further along, and you make that game good, bad, whatever. If it's a fucking tentpole franchise we can build off of, great. We're gonna work on it, and we're gonna keep working on it until we can make that franchise into something worth a shit. And we're gonna do this with every Microsoft studio. It's not that we're not going to build new studios, because the thing about building a new studio is there's not a lot of talent out there. So if you build a new studio, they're going to need at least 8 years to get something out at minimum. So you take that. So
I mean, I can't say there's a bunch of talent out there.
Yeah.
Here's my thing: they get burnt out easily, though.
I mean, but you don't. But you're trying. Like I say, like try to. Fuck. It's like build a new studio with new people. Like there's like a lot of people out there trying to get into the industry. You know.
I don't understand why Rare never made a new Perfect Dark, man. I don't understand.
Because Perfect Dark Zero didn't sell well.
Once again, oh man. Okay.
Here's the thing. The funny thing about that is they wanted it to sell way more than they thought it could. It was one of those things like where they said Tomb Raider had to sell this number to break even instead of even just making a profit.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, but
like that shit. So that showed some millions of copies, and they're talking about it not breaking even.
Shit.
Like how much money that thing really cost?
Man, I don't even care. Square Enix been fucking up for a minute, but let's move on to our regular installment of the Gaming Spotlight. This week we doing, because it comes out next week on 420. Smoke some weed, everybody. God of War 1, 2, 3. Shut up. And if you want to play Ascension, so if you played these games, let me know your opinion on them. Like, cause I remember God of War 1, 2, and 3. My boy Kratos is a thug. He fucked Aphrodite and got away with that shit. Anybody else?
I mean, like I replayed like most of the games like this past like from beginning of the year to now, and they held up surprisingly. You know, even the story I thought was great for all of them.
I mean, my man Kratos, he ushered in and basically reinvigorated the hack and slash genre and made it what it is. Gameplay, fluid, story, underrated. Well, 3's story was kind of like, I feel like 3's story was kind of like jumbled together, but for good reason, because, you know, it had to end. So it was kind of like you knew what was going to go down. But besides that, man, like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, I'll save that for the topic, because the PS4 God of War is a topic, so I'm just gonna save it for that.
My experiences with the God of War series is pretty limited. Like, I didn't own a PS2 or a PS3, but I did own a PSP for quite a while. I did play Chains of Olympus on it, and I really liked that game when I had it. But honestly, I wasn't really hyped for God of War when I first saw it, but as I saw like gameplay and all these clips of it, it kind of grew on me. And when I actually finally saw the Metacritic score, I was like, okay, people really like this game. Okay, and like I am really excited to try it out when I get my hands on it. When I eventually get my hands on it.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Jacob, did you play the God of War games, or did he not say that?
No, I did not.
Lord, Jigga.
Whoa, wait
Nigga.
a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Houseway.
Hold on, fam. What you mean you ain't playing none of the God of War games, man?
I never played them, dog.
What you mean you ain't? No,
Hey.
You a simple motherfucker. I tell you what.
Jigga next spot though, guys.
No, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Jigga, you got a whole PS4, fam. Where that get you a mother PS now. Replay them damn games, dog.
Hey,
Shit,
nah.
you got a PS4. Go get God of War
Yeah.
3 and at least play that. Do something.
Nah, I can't fuck with them games, dog.
Why not?
What?
Hey, man, I'm on to bigger and better things, which is the
Like
new God
what?
of War. That's all
Man,
I'm
shut your
saying.
bitch ass up. Shut
The
your
new
bitch ass
God of War. That's what I'm on to, dog. Fuck that old shit.
Hold on, fam.
Fuck that old shit, dog.
How are you on into bigger and better things when you never played the previous ones, dog?
Hey, man, I don't need to play those. This is a new story.
Okay, so why? Hold up. So why
It's
you
basically a
now?
reboot, dog.
Okay, so let me guess. Because this is the common consensus. You didn't like Kratos as a character the previous what?
No, I actually had no problem with them.
Then why haven't you played them?
Yeah, why you never played them?
I was broke, dog.
They just said it off the rip.
Oh man, y'all coming to my neck, dog.
But you ain't broke now. I mean, you can still play them, but whatever, dog. It is what it is.
No, I ain't playing for that PS now just to play that whack game. Nah,
You don't
dog.
even have to
you
get
can
PS.
you can buy 3. You can buy God of War 3.
Just go play 3. If anything, just go play 3, Jigga. Please.
Yeah, play 3. $10. Ain't that shit? Hold on. Ain't that shit $10?
I think about it.
Yeah, ain't that shit $10 right now?
I think it is. Go check and see. I think there's a flash sale today. Go check and buy it, Jigga.
I think about it.
Ain't no thing. Go do it.
Man, hey, moving on, bro. He wildin'. Moving on. He wildin'.
This simple motherfucker here, bro. I swear to God.
Hey, y'all some
Man, let's
haters.
move on. You're right. Let's move on. I wish that was the case, you simple song bitch. Okay, recently there was a Q&A done on Reset Era, and it was done with Insomniac Games, and they answered a lot of questions. So I'm just gonna read some of the questions right quick, and they gave answers. I'm not gonna read the full answer because I ain't trying to read a full dissertation on bullshit. So yeah. Question 1 from member Son of Liberty on Reset Air. I hear a lot about the stressful work environments in the video game industry. However, I noticed that Insomniac Games is rated by Fortune for being one of the best places to work in the industry. How does the studio maintain that workplace atmosphere, and how has it made a noticeable impact on the overall quality of each production? This is the answer. They said, we understand the passion and creative process of game development and the demands it can put on us. Blah, 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 blah. Our transparency within the studio goes a long way in helping everyone understand where we're at every stage of production.
That's good. That is good to hear.
And this is, go ahead, my bad.
Because you do hear a lot of problems in the game industry. It's just crazy.
I heard how.
No, because it's the strenuous work schedule that they have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like a lot of crunch time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to question 2. They asked very similar questions. What is the process of a game being greenlit for development at Insomniac Games? Do publishers normally approach you guys, or do you normally approach publishers with game ideas? Ted Price, founder and CEO, we usually approach publishers with game ideas. The exception to this rule has been Spoderman, aka Spider-Man. Sony approached us with an incredible opportunity to work on with their team and with Marvel. It was an amazing opportunity we couldn't refuse. And moving on to that, we do a lot of internal brainstorming before we approach publishers. Usually we will narrow things down to 1 or 2 game concepts. I am fucking up right now. I apologize. I think I'm BG right now. About which we are passionate. That process could be quick or it could take a year. Just depends on the concept. Sometimes we'll bring back a concept we're passionate about at one point, but it didn't end up pitching in its original form. That's how Unspoken came about. I'll read 2 more questions and then y'all get the idea. So, how does the studio feel about focus testing these days? And does it agree that it may have listened to the wrong feedback that influenced titles like Resistance 2 and Fuse? Full disclosure, Resistance 2's multiplayer was trash. I just want to say that and get it out there. I know some of y'all may or may not agree with that, but yeah. It is what it is.
I don't know, man. I never played it.
I played like one of them on PSP on the PSP once.
Their response to focus testing, he said it gets a little misconstrued, and some devs they have to learn how to curate and interpret information coming from the outside. So sometimes it's difficult. And these are the last two questions I'm going to ask because I'm going to read because there's like damn near 20,000. And I'm not trying to do all this reading BG shit. How do you handle positive and negative feedback from reviews in the community? My goal is to always try to take emotion out of it. Advocate internally for players, both things they love and both things they dislike. I do get a lot of satisfaction from hearing fans say they're happy or love the game, but also helping out fans who are stuck or dealing with a bug or an issue. It's only really hard when people are genuinely disappointed and you can't fix it. And question 5, besides using your own engine for your games, what other tools are you currently using in game production for coding, art, 3D modeling, such animation, and etc.? For coding, we use C++, JavaScript, and Python. For modeling, we use Maya, Max, Modo, Strat. I think you're familiar with some of these, if I recall.
Yeah.
Pretty Maya.
With JavaScript and Python. Well, I've heard of Python. I haven't ever.
Python's really an older programming technique.
In addition, they say they use ZBrush and Marvelous Designer for creating high-resolution access and Substance Painter for creating in-game textures and materials. So, I'm not going to lie. This is a very interesting Q&A that I think everybody should go either read or tune into.
Yeah, post that link in the description.
Yeah, it seems like a very detailed and thorough.
So, I'm going to post it. So, listen. If you follow me on Twitter, which my Twitter is in the description of the video, I will tweet out this link momentarily, and you can go read it or do whatever else you want to do with it. But I feel like everyone who's watching the podcast should at least attempt to read and understand it, and it gives insight on game development. And that's the reason I made it a topic. So let's move on to the next topic, and something that I think a lot of us are going to agree or disagree with. Is 4K 60 FPS a universal standard for the next gen? And is it make or break if whether it happens or not next gen?
No, it's not.
No. Both those questions, no.
No.
That shit ain't gonna happen.
4K 60 is not going to be the standard. Now, I do believe that 1080p 60 frames per second might be the standard, and you might have a 4K 30 frames per second mode, but each game probably have a 1080p 60 frame per second option. That's what I think.
Yeah, that should be like the base, like 1080 60, with like you can have like a 4K upgrade if you want it.
Yeah, and eliminate. And I'm talking about native 4K, not checkerboard.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
30.
Because I feel that anything I want 60 to be something that's mandated. I don't know about 4K. I'm give or take on 4K. I could really care less, but 60 frames.
Yeah, but 1080 60, it can definitely do that. It can definitely.
Yeah, like these next consoles need to be like.
Even though I don't believe that PS5 rumor 32 gigs, I don't believe that.
Nah, that's false.
Yeah, it's false. We're going to talk about that.
That would cost like upwards of.
We're going to talk
over
about that
$1,000.
in this topic too in a second, but I want to just get you guys try to see how you guys are feeling about that. But since it was proven false, but like if I look at those like specs, it's like some of it I could believe, and then other stuff just made no sense. If we're gonna talk about it, so anybody got any feelings on that? Either way.
Yeah, like I said, it's all BS, man. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, it's hard to believe those specs would come out so early.
No, they got dev kits out already though. And the reason they would come out early is because like 2 years down the line, it would the cost would be affordable. You know, they put like maybe they're putting probably last year's or the year before's components into the next PlayStation,
which is not a bad thing. Go ahead.
I got a question. Do you think like the prices of RAM could like push back the console release?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
RAM is crazy expensive.
But at the same time, by the time PS5 come out, them development costs will go down because that's how shit usually works. Now, if they were to release the shit next year, they will probably have to, if just saying, give or take hypothetically, that it did have 32 gigs of RAM, they would have to sell that. They would have to sell it
at least 600.
No, I'm gonna say 7 minimum. Because come on, man, 32 in a console in a closed platform. No.
32 gigabytes of RAM. No, I got 32 gigabytes of RAM on my PC, and that's just not even necessary.
Yeah, I mean 16 is more realistic.
Yeah, 16. I'd say.
Yeah.
16. Okay. So next question: do y'all think Sony will want a year out to themselves where nobody else is out, or do you think they wait and drop where everybody else?
They need to do a year out. They need, I mean, a year before everybody else. I mean, it worked for them. I mean,
I don't know. Like the competition, like really ain't that
Yeah,
stiff.
I
So
don't think they need to.
Yeah, y'all right. You know, Microsoft garbage with them first parties.
But at the same time, they petty, so they might do it just to.
Yeah. I mean, let's not sleep on Nintendo. But see, the thing is, I don't think Sony looks at Nintendo as a competitor.
Nah.
Seriously.
Anyways, I feel like it's too soon. The Switch just came out.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll get a Switch when they get them achievements on that.
See how that third party looks.
Hey, Professor, you just said something really interesting. It's interesting. I said interesting. Oh wow, I am BG. God damn it.
Oh man.
What I was saying?
Something about investment. So, let's talk about ecosystem investment since that's going to be a huge topic going into the next gen.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, in my opinion, I feel like I'm indifferent about achievements and trophies and shit. I really don't care. I play games where I like to play games. I don't really give a shit about that. But do you guys feel that going into next gen, being someplace where you have all of these things is going to drive somebody to a particular platform, or do you think people will just still play where they're going to play?
I mean, it does drive you for sure.
No, I mean that's an easy question. That's a very easy question to answer. As far as the grand scheme of things and the casuals, no, they're gonna play the games where they're gonna play, because when it comes to like achievements and trophies being the same ecosystem, that's only something that the hardcores really care about. Casuals really don't care about that shit, man. They don't care about trophies and achievements. They want to just play their game. So I don't think it'll really affect it that much, but it is a bonus. It's needed, man. Like it's needed, because I feel like that's just the way gaming is. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but like we're in the day and age where trophies and achievements matter, because not only do they give you purpose, it also lets you know who is playing these games out here.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say at first, like, I think it's important, but then I thought about it, like, how many people are on 360 then switch to PS4? It's like, so it's like, it's important, but at the same time, it's like, people are going to switch when they feel like it.
Because Century, like I told you before, in the past, like the trophy community, like the trophy hunting community, it's a small bunch. I mean, we're talking about the low thousands, the low thousands. So I mean, you look at how many consoles, PlayStation, Sony sold with the PS4. That's a very small percentage. Because where are they at now? Close to what? 70-something million?
Oh, they passed that.
70,
Yeah,
closer to like 80, more like 90 million.
Yeah, so you're talking about only thousands care about trophies, opposed to 80 million. So, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, no, it does not matter. But to me personally, yes, it does matter.
Yeah, I didn't start paying attention to my achievements until like later in last generation, but now, like to me they do matter, because they do like kind of tell me what I've been doing and stuff like that, and you can see who's fraud and who's not. But to a casual, it's not gonna really matter. So
okay. So with that in ecosystem investment, do you think your purchases is carried over from each generation?
Oh,
yes. Of course.
If it doesn't, oh my god,
it does on both consoles, I think. Well, on the Xbox app, it does track achievements from.
Man, listen.
And,
not achievements, but purchases. I'm talking
about yeah.
Man, let PS5 come out and I can't take my fucking trophy level and platinums with me, man.
No, what if you can't take if I can't take my games either?
And if I can't take my game, like neither, both. Oh man, we got a problem.
Yeah. No, I need the games most importantly.
No, I feel like trophies are gonna carry over regardless. I feel like that's
those are gonna carry
trophies, achievements, whatever. Because
those are already carried over.
But not necessarily though, because think about it. What if the PS5 does not use the same server shit that the PS3 and PS4?
Here's my thing, but they still have access to all that. Like this is the thing, you can always rebuild your online infrastructure from the ground up to carry over that data. What you can't do is when you change completely and you don't implement a way to import that data. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's say they didn't do that.
I mean, what we do know the PS5 is gonna have x86 architecture. It's gonna have that. I mean, that's pretty much guaranteed. Because I mean, isn't that pretty much the standard anyway? So that's it's gonna have that. So wouldn't that have like zero effect whether trophies or games carry over, or will it?
x86 only means that you can't use certain, like for example, the
It
reason
just makes it easier to port over things.
yeah, because it's on the same code
The
base.
same
No,
architecture.
I mean, that's my question. Like, so I mean, if that's the standard, then that means like it's guaranteed that the games, like all our like digital library, is going to carry over, right?
It should. I mean, I'd
It
assume
should.
so.
It should. Oh, it should.
If they don't
Better.
do that, that'd be the stupidest thing.
Better.
Man, I done spent so much. Man, listen, man, moving on. I'm getting mad just thinking about it.
Oh man, you getting angry, Professor? Oh
I'm
man,
getting angry, bro.
he turned into Bruce Banner, y'all. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Man, let's get to the main event of the evening. Coming in from the blue corner, knocking out everybody in his way. The mad Spartan from the down under, Mr. Kratos, God of War, 2018, got a meta score of what? I think that's
95.
95 now. Yeah.
Yeah.
95. Eat your heart out, Black Laren. Eat your heart out.
He ain't getting that PS4. He still ain't getting that PS4.
But did y'all expect this? What were your expectations for God of War? I for one thought it was gonna get a 90 at minimum.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna let y'all go first. I've been like, yeah, I'm gonna let y'all go first.
Oh man,
Like I expected up higher than 90s, which is like what we got, because just by the way they were going about this whole new God of War, like it could only be great. If it wasn't, like, you know, your game is amazing if you can tell people to review it a week earlier.
Yep.
Like as soon as I heard that, I knew. It's
like if you
it's
have
a
faith
given.
enough in your game to be like reviews coming out a week early, I'm like, damn,
Like,
you a
what
real.
I don't think any other developer is crazy enough to do that, because that impacts sales so much.
Yes,
Like
it
you don't
does.
have like people don't have the idea of the impact reviews have. Like a person see a game not get above an 8, they'd be like, nah, not worth it. To this game a week earlier, get a 95? 10s, most places gave it 10s. It's crazy.
Are there still reviews that need to be like still sites that need to review the game, or is it pretty much?
There's pending reviews still, but I think, to be honest, I think most of it is gonna be either 9s or 10s or
No,
8s.
well, from the well-known people already put it out. Now it's just like those other companies you
the
really
little
don't know about.
stragglers, and
Yeah.
we gotta wait for Jim Sterling to do his,
Okay.
Yeah, I expected like a 91, but I didn't expect it to get that high because I thought maybe reviewers would kind of not completely be on board with all the changes from the previous games. I mean, I'm not an expert on God of War, but you could tell the difference between the way the old games play and to how this new game plays. But that's what I expected. But
Yep. Okay.
I mean, I had no expectations, but
Of course you did.
I was
You
hoping
didn't
that
play, you didn't play the last 3. Of course you did.
oh my, this man's a hater, dog. I just hoped it would be good because I wanted to hop into this, and play it. So seeing those reviews kind of made me more excited. So, yeah.
And then Digital Foundry released their video on it today.
yeah, like I look like I was waiting for the performance part, so I just kept my phone down. I didn't want to look at like too much.
Performance was like it's got an unlocked frame rate mode that sticks up to the 45 FPS range at 1080p, or like a almost perfectly locked 30 FPS at the higher resolution. It's got the 29, 28 dips every now and then, but overall it's like pretty solid game performance wise.
Okay.
Like you're playing the game, like certain spots, it don't even gets up to like 60 FPS.
Like I'm pretty much stuck with the 30 frames mode since I only have a base PS4. But
Oh man,
Even the
you a
base-
peasant like me.
No, but
Oh,
even the
man.
base PS4 got rock solid performance,
yeah,
which is like great.
I'll probably replay it again for a third time once I get a pro.
Oh man, but if we gotta be honest, did Jigga get? Oh yeah, Jigga did that.
No,
Big.
hold on. Let me go because I ain't go.
Go ahead.
Now, Century, you know the tweet I made. You know, I forgot when it was. A couple.
Oh yeah, when you doubted the God Emperor known as Corey. Oh man.
Now hold on. To be fair, I did not doubt. I was just kind of apprehensive. I was kind of,
How can you doubt the man that wrote most of the games, dog? How you doubt?
You never know, because this is Kratos we're talking about. But from what I read, this story might succeed. I mean, I said succeed, exceed God of War 2, and if it does that, man, hey man, I'm happy as fuck. That's all I'm thinking. Because the gameplay, I wasn't worried about the gameplay at all, because the gameplay that I saw, I was like, yeah, this shit good money. I was just worried about that story. And I'm gonna say this too, man. I think Chris Judge is that his name?
Christopher Judge, aka Teal'c from Stargate. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chris Judge just might be a better voice actor too, because no, man. Because the reviews I've seen, he has a more mature, meek voice, and it lends itself well to the new direction, of that.
How he be saying? How he be talking to Archers? He be calling him. What he be calling him, Professor?
Boy, come here.
You be talking to that man regally, talking about boy. I be shook.
Because I think TC Carson, he can't go to that level. You know what I'm saying? Christopher Judge is a more experienced voice actor, so he knows how to pull in the emotions back and know when to ratchet it up.
Is TC Carson the voice of Arbiter?
No, that is Keith David.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Arbiter. Okay.
I know you get what I'm saying, Century. TC.
Yeah. Well, here's the difference.
He just had one way, and that was angry.
TC. This is the thing about TC. TC has never done stage, and TC has never really been in like a really dramatic, role. TC has been Kratos. He's been on what TV show he was with the blacks on it? Living Court, something like that.
Living Color.
I know, bro. I'm
living single. What is?
Oh man.
Hey, listen. I'll hold it. I'll hold the L if I want to.
I hold it.
But no, he also did your man, the black dude from Agents of Mayhem voice. I forgot his Hardtack. Hardtack. He did the voice of Hardtack. And it was old Coon, voice acting, dog. Like it was.
Whoa! Watch your words. Watch your words.
I mean,
typical.
I mean, look, man. I'm just being honest, man. I mean,
be honest, because
you didn't play. If you played the game, you understand.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I just feel like he has his voice acting chops is typical. And Christopher Judge, I've seen him in The Dark Knight. I've seen him in Stargate for more than 10 years. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. He has a lot of range. Also, he was D-Mob in Def Jam. If y'all forget about that, he was D-Mob.
No, I ain't forget about it.
So my man has range. He's been doing this for.
But when I'm saying, I'm talking about that deep emotional connection. He can't. I'm telling you, he can't do it. I'm trying to tell you, he cannot do it.
I think you're basically trying to say he has a better vocal range.
Yeah, he has a better.
Yeah, he has a better.
Yeah, he knows.
Here's the thing about vocal ranges, though. Vocal ranges only work when you're able to emote the emotion. If you cannot,
that's my point. TC can't do it. That's my point.
All he could do is probably just angry. So
yeah, all he can do is yell.
Berries! I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's all he can do is yell. Yeah.
Like, why are you yelling at me, dog?
He can yell and be funny. He can yell. He can yell.
Remember, Professor, you remember God of War 3, the scene after he got through doing the deed with Aphrodite, he went and saw Hephaestus.
Yeah.
You should ask your wife.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? Calm down.
No, I think every cutscene he hollered. In God of War 3, every damn
they just said, here's some water, yelled the entire time, dog.
I said, I think TC had high blood pressure after this damn session, dog. What going on?
No, but I feel like God of War, I've been hearing it, they've been calling it the what of the generation, y'all? What they've been calling it?
Game of the general.
Yeah, game of the general. To set the standards, transcendent. I mean,
it's doing what The Last of Us did last gen.
Yeah,
no,
hold on. I'm about to say something, but Nintendo fans told me that Breath of the Wild was a generational game. What's going on?
My opinion, Witcher 3 is still one of the games of the generation.
Yeah, yes,
it is.
It's Witcher 3. Yeah.
They're basically saying it's the second coming to Halo 5.
Huh?
What? Oh, yeah,
I'm about to end up
I'm
on-
Great
joking,
game.
too. I'm
You
joking,
just did that for
too.
strand. No, you just did.
That was a
fan service
great
for
game,
strand.
everybody.
No, it was not.
Halo 5 was great.
No, it was
Halo
not.
5 was doo-doo butter on a stick.
Halo 2 and 3 still the best in the series.
If you had that lore in your mind, then you would appreciate it.
No,
This man Strat is like,
Strat-
it
Strat-
was
No,
my fault.
but we're not talking about Halo. We're talking about God of War, game of the generation
you know I'm
right now.
because you know I'm right. You know 2 and 3 was better, but anyway.
Oh, it was for sure.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, moving on. But yeah, like God of War sounded kind of lit. If you don't get your copies, if you need to pre-order, do whatever you need to do.
Facts. Pre-order that dog.
Get your hands on it.
Century, how you gonna play it though? You ain't got a PlayStation. How you
I gotta save my money.
I'm gonna walk right across the buy a copy of God of War from GameStop and play it on my cousin's PS4. You got any more questions?
Oh, man.
You gotta stop being cheap and go ahead and do the deed, bro.
Hey, listen, it's not. Hey, I got other things in life I gotta take care of, bro. Before
That's
I get a
what I'm
question.
saying,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah. I gotta save my money for my like my summer session in college. And
That's what I'm
else?
saying.
I just paid like $80 for a stick of RAM. I had to replace that shit. It was really
I gotta-
hurt me. But
I gotta replace the GPU fan. You ain't the only one.
and I have to repair something in my car.
I low key need to make sure I got my shit under warranty, dog.
My warranty for my graphics card ended on February 8th, dog. I'm upset.
Hey, man.
It's crazy.
That's how they do you, dog. Loki, isn't fans like the thing that die first on the
Yeah.
graphics card?
You can, but the card itself will only die if you overheat it. It won't die if you just replace the fans. It's not that
Look,
finicky.
man, I'm not a PC gamer or anything like that, man, but I've seen some people play on some dusty ass rigs. dog.
Hey, that's not a topic, bro. We free talking, bro. You know what? It's 406. Listen, people, we had a wonderful podcast. I miss our members, Hardhead and my man, The Real Visions this week. They'll be back.
The Legends.
Why you gotta be so mean, dog? Leave them alone. They'll be back. One night didn't come through like I thought he would. He's a snake.
Oh, Snake Knight? Oh, man.
No, he pulled a Nightcrawler and teleported somewhere else, man.
Man, use your telekinesis to find that man.
I don't know, man. I'll try.
Man, you use that shit. Find him, bro. Find Kurt.
Damn.
Nah, but anywho, thank you to Common for coming through and chilling with us.
Yeah.
Nah, but let's get out of here. Intros, people. Intros. Outros.
Oh,
the
my
other
God,
thing.
this man, dog.
man.
Bro, I need some
Man,
liquor,
man,
dog.
no,
This man, he
you need
tripping,
liquor.
dog.
You need a liquor and a Snickers. Man.
She, I need both. I'm about to go get some fried chicken and some potatoes, some fucking fries. God damn it.
Nah,
Get the
man.
outros popping. Get the outros
All
popping.
right, man. This Professor X615. Follow me on Twitter at Professor X615, and we out. Man.
Stratosphere here, guys. Signing off. Great podcast as always. I'll take it easy.
It's Jigga April. Hit me up on Twitch, Jigga April, you know,
Twitch.
and YouTube, Jigga April. You know what I mean, either one of those.
You stream,
Follow your
nigga?
boy. Follow your boy, so when I stream, you can get notified the greatness.
Yeah, you notice
You
he say
straight?
Twitter. You notice he say Twitter. That thing a graveyard. You know,
Oh,
That
yeah,
shit,
Twitter-
that shit
Twitter
dead, boy.
that shit
Yo,
is destitute.
Oh shit. Nah, our guest for this week, Common Sense. Let them know where you at.
You can follow me on Twitter at aka_common sense or on YouTube at just common sense, no spaces. I'll put the link in the chat though. And thanks to Century for bringing me on this week, and it was a fun podcast.
Oh man, thank you, Common, for coming on, bro. You a great friend. We fuck with you, dog. And as always,
you.
I'm your friendly neighborhood Century Turn. I'm in all your favorite games, and I usually kill you at least once. And we signing out for this week.
Wait. Before we go, if you want to see Hardhead scream, go to my Twitter, Jigga April 1, and it's a good video of him screaming. Thank you.
Oh man, but yeah, we out of here, dog. Like, listen, come. Also, before I forget, remember we are on this channel for the foreseeable future. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you got any feedback. Hit us up on Twitter if you're trying to play video games with us. Hit us up on our fucking social media and see if we want to play with you. Don't matter.
Oh,
We out this bitch. I'm Kratos this week. I'm angry, bitch. Ugh.